All right, this is the first Skype recording test for the Beer and Ball show. My name's Will Byers. This is Tyler Noren. Say hi.
Hello, viewers and listeners. Excited to be here.
All right, we're going to do just a quick test topic here. There's a lot of news coming out of Champaign, Illinois today. Rumors started last night flowing that we were going to have up to 4 transfers. The first ball has dropped. Mark Smith is gone out of Illinois. He said he didn't fit the system. What do you think about that, Ty?
Uh, like just deflating after a long season, and you were hoping to see some recruits come in and get some people moving in the right direction. And I was excited to see some players develop under Brad Underwood, and to kick off the off season, as you would say it, by losing a McDonald's or a Mr. Illinois basketball player. Is very disappointing in my mind. I was hoping to get some of the arrows pointing upwards with bringing players in, but I'm disappointed. I have a whole lot of thoughts on it, but initial reaction, hate to see him go. I think we all can agree that we expected more out of him this year, but I think if he would have stuck with it, potentially he could have taken another step forward, as I believe it's been well documented that he's a hard worker.
But do you think he would have got the playing time? I just don't think he would have got the playing. I know that he's got the talent, but does he get the playing time with Frazier and Io and all the other players that we're going to be trying to bring in?
But
I know you can't. I
that's
know you
it,
can't.
though. I
I know
mean,
you can't bank on the future, but with the potential players we're going to get, but still, with the year Trent had, I think it's. I mean, it made sense for him to leave. I think based on the playing time he got this year and the way that Underwood played him and treated him. I think I'm not saying he treated him bad, but he just wasn't seeing the time because of his play.
yeah, I mean, you kind of hit it on the head when you said with Frazier and Io. After those two players, I don't know who's stealing playing time from them. You had Mark Allstor clogging up the three spot all year. Demonte Williams, I guess Trent. I mean, Trent's going to be playing as he's a starter for sure, but Demonte's not locked in to be a starter. Io, is highly rated and is likely a starter, but really there's only three. There's three players for three positions right now. In my beliefs, I think Tajon Lucas is going to be the next person to pack his bags and to head out of Champaign. So I think too many times we kind of say there's not enough playing time. When you're last in the Big Ten, if playing time is an issue and you're that good of a player, I don't think that's a good excuse to leave. I think he just didn't get along with Brad Underwood. So
You got to admit he
uh,
didn't play
sad to
play
see.
very well this year, though. I mean, that was a reason. I think
No,
there was a
but he
reason.
also he also has never played this level of competition. And in the non-conference, he was playing okay. He wasn't playing great, but I think for a long time he's been struggling here at Illinois. I think it's his confidence. I've watched his highlights, and from what I could tell, he seemed to be an explosive player and someone that can knock down an open three. And this year, I just think early in the Big Ten play, his confidence was shook. I don't know if it was the way that he was being ridden at practice or he put too much expectations on himself.
Yeah.
I think he never really got to his full potential, even as a freshman. I think his confidence was low, and he's probably been thinking about this for a while. And Brad Underwood is a fiery person, and some people can take that coaching and that style, but some other people they might let it get under their skin and
Right.
really affect performance.
Yeah, I think that's he definitely has a abrasive coaching style, and I think that did affect Smith. He seems like I'm not going to say he's soft, but I think he's sensitive to that type of coaching. So, I wish him the best of luck. I don't know.
It's really going to irk me if he goes to Michigan State or Missouri or, I mean, maybe Kansas State. I wouldn't be too hurt about it. But when Underwood's one of his big chips so far early in the his Illinois career was landing the Mr. Illinois basketball. To see him leave after a year,
Did he land him
uh,
though? I don't. I mean, he didn't land him. We had him before, and he finally he just decided to stick with his guns. I don't
yeah,
think it was definitely an Underwood player. So Underwood would
I
have just
think
gotten creamed if he wouldn't have got
here,
him.
here's my whole thing. I don't know how many players Underwood has got, to be honest. And this is going to be year
It's
two.
still
So
early.
I mean, he's gotten two players. He's gotten Io, who in my book is a Chin Coleman signing. He's a former Mac Urban Fire coach. That was kind of a layup. That was kind of a first relationship building type of recruit. Obviously, he's very good. But other than that, I mean, Brad Underwood has lost us Jalen Coleman Lands. He's lost us DJ Williams. He ran Tillman decommitted because of this, and now Mark Smith. If you give me those four players, Mark Smith, DJ Williams, Jalen Coleman Lands, and Jeremiah Tillman, I would take those four players as freshmen and sophomores and think that I'm pretty good to
So
see
you're
those
blaming those transfers on – you're blaming those last year transfers on Underwood?
have to.
Wow.
They,
No, you
that's the
can't
only
do
thing
that.
changed. That's the only thing that changed about the University of Illinois from when those players signed and when they decommitted was a coaching hire. So I mean, what else changed? The assembly hall didn't change. Their majors didn't change. The only thing that changed was the coach. So
Yeah.
for those players to leave, all within basically 5 months, 5 6 months was Mark Smith's career at Illinois. He committed late, and he's only been here for 6 months. So going back to the players that Brad Underwood has gotten, he got some player recently over the weekend that I'm not super impressed with from first glance. But other than that,
Yeah, that tape wasn't – well, it didn't look the best, I'll admit.
but I see Conzo Martin at Missouri bringing in the number one player in the country, and he's brought in Jeremiah Tillman, and he's bringing in players, and players are transferring in to be a part of what he's building. I don't see too many high school players signing up to be an Illini, and that's what's frustrating. You would think that a new coach would come in with a new philosophy and be able to change the culture.
We're in the mix for a lot of these players. We're still in the mix for Tevion Jones, Lytle, Okoro. You're already ruling all this out and saying that nobody's wanting to come there. Whenever we're still on a lot of people's radar, and I think we're gonna make some signings that we're not even aware of yet that I think are gonna help us. I mean, we can definitely agree it's not been a good look so far. I'll agree with you there, but I think to go ahead and say that no one's wanting to come to Illinois, that's just crazy.
When we've offered 45 players and two have come, um, that's frustrating. And for our biggest chip to leave after 5 months and say that he doesn't fit the system, I mean, we're pretty wide open, run and gun. What type of system is Mark Smith gonna
Right.
fit
I
in? And
mean
the same thing.
that was just a cover. He just wasn't a fan of Underwood. I agree there. I don't think that he had anything to do with the system.
You look at some of these players like Michigan just won the Big Ten tournament, and they got players, that develop over 4 years. That if you went back and looked at their freshman stats, you would think that these guys aren't going to amount to anything. And 3 years down the line, they're great basketball players. So for him to run off and not get along, I mean, what else can you blame it on? He's not homesick. He's
Right.
got his family can watch him play. I don't think there's anything wrong with the classes he was taking, but um, who knows what? I mean, maybe he's going to go to Missouri and play baseball. Who knows? That's where he was originally committed to.
We'll see. He
But
says he hasn't talked to any other schools yet. I believe him that probably there that he hasn't, but he definitely wanted out as quick as possible from Illinois. So I mean, I think, like I said, we can agree it's not a good look for Illinois for the start of the Underwood
well,
career, and the season didn't turn out how we wanted either.
let me flip this on you. There's rumored. I read a lot of the message boards. There's a rumor that there's four players transferring. So, Will, if you want to give me three other players to join Mark Smith that you'd be okay leaving the program, I mean, by the time you get to the fourth player, we're going to have about three players that can dribble and play basketball. So,
I mean, that we're gonna the roster spots will get filled either way. I mean, the person that I would really be devastated to lose would be Laurent. I know he's been rumored in those. I would hate to lose him. I don't know why he would want to leave. He had his career year this year. He shined. He was doing really well, getting all the playing time he could ever want. There was rumblings that the team is not happy with Underwood. Whether you believe that or not, I don't know. But I just don't see why Laurent would want to bounce out right now. Any other player besides Trent Frazier, who's definitely not leaving, he's already reaffirmed his commitment on Twitter. I mean, Kipper's a great player. He's shown signs that he scored 30 points the last game, or 33 or whatever it was. It would be tough to lose him, but I mean, anyone else, I mean, it's not going to be a program killer. I don't think Mark Smith is a program killer. It's just not a good look right now.
and I think here's the first bold call from the Ball and Beer Show. I think the players that are going to exit following Mark Smith are going to be Tijon Lucas, Kipper Nichols, and probably Matik Vessel because I just don't see him being a big
Yeah.
time player. So I don't love losing Kipper or Tijon if they do decide to transfer. I mean, I was just reading body language and the way that Underwood was kind of lighting Kipper up at one of the games. It just looked like Kipper wanted nothing to do with it. And I think Tijon, as you mentioned, I think Io and Trent can be point guards, and we need more of a three, which at least Mark's a little
Yeah.
bit bigger than Tijon. So Tijon might be leaving. We also don't know what happened with him. He was suspended for a couple of weeks, and nobody really ever leaked what was going on. He violated some sort of team rule. So
Yeah, that was strange how nothing ever came out about that. We never heard anything about it
right,
after it
so
happened. So I don't know. I think there's a lot more to come with Illinois basketball. I think it's the fan base is kind of split right now on the direction, and I think we definitely need to see some improvement next year to give some fans a hope. And I know there's varying levels of support out there for Brad Underwood and Josh Whitman, which it's kind of some areas it's fading, but I still believe in both of them, and I think that we'll be on the right track even without Mark Smith and whoever else decides to transfer out. So I think we've gone quite a bit of time there. We could go all night on this topic. I know it's a big debate within our group of Illinois fans. So that was a good first segment for the Ball and Beer Show, I think. Don't you, Ty?
yeah, let's next man up, Tevion Jones, Courtney Ramey. Need one of them. Would love to have them both. Let's see what happens.
All right. We will end it at that, and then we'll be back hopefully soon with our very first ep of the Ball and Beer Show podcast. This was a test video, so hopefully it comes out and you guys that are Illini fans and enjoyed it. So, all right, Ty, we'll talk to you later.
All right, thanks.